about breaking rules. So the question is, if you break the rules without knowing it, have you cheated? If you break the rules without knowing it, have you cheated?
Yes. You have. Because... Yeah, but you cheated.
Yeah, why?
Why?
But you didn't know it, right? It wasn't your fault.
Yeah.
Some might say. Okay. By the way, there's no right answer to this question.
Okay.
As there are in all of these questions that we go through, there is no right answer, and that's deliberately so. So you're saying, yes, you have cheated.
I think so. Yeah, I think. Or maybe I haven't because I didn't know. So maybe I didn't. But how do I know though? How do I find these things out?
So, well, let's use an example, right? There's a little example in here. Maybe that helps us. Just a little example around handing homework in late.
Okay.
Right. So let's say you had some homework, you asked for school, and you handed it in late. Like you're meant to hand it in on Tuesday.
Okay.
But you didn't know, and actually you handed it in on Wednesday. Okay. By accident. So you broke the rules.
But maybe the teacher told me, but I didn't hear it or I didn't listen. So next time then I should really make sure I listen to know when I should hand their homework in. Yeah,
interesting. So not knowing the rules in that example might have been because you weren't listening. So it might be actually you're saying it was your fault that you didn't know the rules. But what if it wasn't your fault? What if, I don't know, what if you weren't in that lesson? What if you're off sick that day when your teacher said, this is due for Tuesday?
But then I wouldn't have the homework.
Well, maybe it was emailed to you or something.
Okay. Then that's not my fault. Then the teacher should have told me when it needs to be in by.
So is not knowing the rules an excuse to break the rules?
Yeah. I mean, it's not an excuse, but it's okay. I think if you didn't know, then you don't mean to. You're not trying to cause any harm.
So what if something quite serious happened? Like what if, I don't know, what if somebody was driving their car and they went through a red light and they hurt somebody, and then they said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know that you can
but then
go through red lights."
That's really bad. Everyone knows that you can't go through a red light. That's not allowed at all.
Yeah, I mean that.
Then they should go.
Been,
yeah, then shouldn't they go? That's the police then have to sort that out. Isn't that the law?
Right. It is a law, isn't it, that you can't go through red lights?
Yeah.
But if this driver claimed not to have known it, then does it make it okay?
But then he doesn't know how to drive then. So is he allowed to drive?
Well, yeah, it's a good question.
Yeah. I don't think that's allowed because somebody's gone to hospital, so I think that's really breaking the rules. And that's not allowed.
Right. Because somebody's gone to hospital is quite serious.
Yeah.
So does it matter on like the kind of crime that was committed? We had just two examples there, didn't we? We had hand in homework late, and we had run somebody over by going through a red light, and they're two very different examples, aren't they? So does it matter what thing has been broken? Does that affect our view on if it's okay to break the rules by accident?
Well, it depends. But if it's the law, then you can't do that by accident. And somebody's gone to hospital with a man who drove through that red light, but then I've just handed my homework in late, that's all. It's not harmed anyone.
Right. So it's not harmed anybody. So if you don't harm anybody, then is it okay to do something?
Well, if you didn't know, I think it makes it less. It's not as bad then, is it?
But is it completely okay?
No. Then if I'd known, then I should make sure I know the rules. No, then it's not okay.
It's an interesting one, isn't it? It's quite tricky. There's sort of shades of grey on this for sure, aren't there? You have like a serious thing like running somebody over, and like a less serious thing like handing in homework late. Is one okay and one not okay? Is one more okay? Is one less okay?
But then it's like stealing. If somebody stole something and they didn't get caught by the police, that's really bad. That's really bad. Because now they've stolen something from somebody and that somebody doesn't have anything.
Right.
And it's the law. And the police said you're not meant to do that. But if it's something smaller, then it can be okay sometimes. Like handing in my homework late. But I didn't know that.
So what would happen if there were no rules? So if then therefore you can't break any rules, right? So if there were no rules, if there were no laws...
Oh. Be quite messy. Then I'd hand my homework in late, and then I wouldn't... then I'll just watch TV instead of doing my homework. I wouldn't tidy the dishes. And then the house would get really messy, and then I wouldn't be able to find my things.
Is there any part of you that would enjoy having no rules, or no?
I don't like rules, but if there weren't rules, then nothing would get done, and the place would be really messy. And no, I don't. I actually prefer that there's rules, because then I know what I need to do.
And knowing what the rules are sounds important, right? So back to our initial question, which is it if you break the rules without knowing, is that cheating, or is that wrong? If you've done it without knowing what they are, so it sounds like kind of knowing what they are is quite important.
Yeah, it's important to know the rules, but it also depends how bad that consequence is.
How bad the thing you're
doing is. The bad
is.
thing is, yeah.
And if somebody's got harmed, right, which is what you were saying before.
Yeah, that's really bad. Exactly.
And again, there's probably shades of grey, right? So in terms of somebody getting harmed, what if one person got harmed versus 100 people got harmed?
Yeah.
Which one's worse?
What if they died?
Yeah. What if one person died, but 100 people just got hurt?
Yeah.
Which one's worse? And does it make what you've done any more or less acceptable?
I wouldn't like any of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not acceptable at all to do that.
Interesting one. Yeah. So a little philosophy debate. We can talk more about that over dinner.
Yeah, but I like having rules actually, but not too many rules.
I suppose some rules are helpful, aren't they? They put boundaries on our behaviour.